Let's go, everyone. Let's go. What's up, Flobo? 228. 228 episodes of the show. And for some reason, people still tune in. I know. I thank you for coming out. Thank you for sharing the show. But I do it for my mama because she doesn't really watch anything else I do. So thanks for rocking with me as I get to do that whole like video call to no one in particular, but to kind of my mom, but not really. She always hits me up afterwards. She's like, "Oh, people gonna think you're a mama's boy." I go, it's fine with me. No, anyway, thank you so much for checking out this show and on all the other shows. YouTube.com/Flobo Boys. If you want to buy yourself a t-shirt, flobito.threadless.com and support the show in multiple ways. Buymeacoffee.com/Flobo Boys. And of course, the Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boys. We call it the Boys First Crew. That's you can unlock bonus material. New Flobito's book club is going to be out soon for those in the top tier of Flobito's book club. It's worth a skim. Now, as I record this, we're about to go ready or live for the Mac Mania podcast, which is a Ringer show, Spotify exclusive. So I like to get this opportunity to chat with you, warm up my voice, and all that jazz before we get started. I just hopped out the shower. This is why I don't have my headphones on. I usually have my headphones on when I do the thing, but I got that weird vibe where it's like it's a hot day, but I got the shower, so I'm not sure if it's sweat or water. That kind of vibe. In New York, that was like the entire month of August, but I'm feeling that right now. So it's a little bit of information what's going on with me, personally, professionally. It's the All-Star game here in Los Angeles. Excited to see baseball fandom from all over the world come out and support the game. And even though I used to write off the All-Star game as being an exhibition game, not a big deal, and it kind of is, it's still kind of cool to see the sport is alive and well, even though when we get huddled around the corners of the bars, we always complain to our boys that baseball's dying, no one's going to the games anymore. It was fun to see. I'm not going to the game itself this year, but just seeing the vibe and what's going around town, I might go to the All-Star baseball game next year. It's in Seattle, which is one of the few towns in this country I have not seen but love to see. So I might make it a trip to do that. That's going to be an expensive endeavor, not as expensive as say Formula One, but it's not going to be cheap either. I mean, those tickets are going to be like $500 and lodging and all that stuff. So I'm getting myself geared up for that. But it was kind of cool to see my buddy from high school roll through, big Yankee fan, and somehow we're still friends. But he likes the game of baseball. It was great just to see the reason that he came out. I mean, I've been in LA 15 years, homeboy to come out for me, but for baseball, well, that's different. And I say that a little bit tongue in cheek, but it just says the power of sports and destination tourism. I think I've said in a couple episodes, I hate traveling for the sake of traveling. Like I'm not a kind of person just to be like, oh man, I just want to go and see Dubai, right? Or I use a town I actually want to see. I don't want to just see Lisbon, Portugal. I want to be able to see Lisbon, Portugal while doing a comedy show or doing a esport event or doing a What's Up Flobo vlog from there. You know, I want to travel with a purpose. And it hit me back when I was in Italy that for my this wedding I DJ'd back in 2018, I was there for a week. The first half, getting ready for the wedding, I had the time of my life. And as soon as the wedding was done, and it was like, all right, the task is over. It was like, well, what do I do with my life? This is not nearly as enjoyable. Now, granted, I was also out of money, but still, I feel like that's a bigger thing. It was if there was traveling with a purpose, why not? Before the pandemic, I was going to Japan, and I was just going to go just to go. And I go, okay, I'm looking forward to it. It's a bucket list city. I got a cheap flight. But then when I booked a comedy show, a couple comedy shows in Tokyo, I went, all right, let's go. Here's an opportunity to really put the brands outside everywhere to see where it's going to go. Obviously, COVID had different plans, but it was still to me more of a recharge or a charged up reason to do it. So next year, Seattle, crossing fingers, barring anything crazy, I might do that for the All-Star game next July. Come with me. I might actually have a comedy show right there at home plate. It's kind of fun. Elsewhere, though, just getting back into the comedy thing. Had an open mic this week. Not really sure how I feel about open mics, especially paid ones. For those who don't know, in Los Angeles, in the comedy scene, it's hard to get stage time. And so there are open mics, and they're usually in bars or they're in the back rooms of places or theater spaces. And something called a paid open mic where you pay 5, 8, 10, 15, $20 for space time. And at first, you're kind of like, this is a scam. And then you go, well, no one's going to give you the stage to help you project your bit and get some kind of feedback, even though the feedback is other comedians worrying about their own stuff. But then I got towards the end of it, towards the pandemic, going like, oh, I really don't have the money to go ahead and do that. But got dragged out by a friend who bailed. So I went by myself, ironically, to do some of the open mic stuff. Did a lot of the birthday show material. Excuse me. Did a comedy show for my birthday. And I said, well, let me try to see if I could commit some of these bits I did for my birthday show to an actual hour or half hour or something. And a lot of stuff didn't work, which is interesting because it worked at my birthday show, right? The crowd is pretty much as important as everyone else. Open mic crowds are different. There are other comedians that worry about their own stuff. They don't want to laugh. They don't give you too much love. Not in a bad way, just the way it is. And civilian crowds that just want to make sure it's funny. So I thought it was kind of the best kind of come down to be like, no, these shows worked before. Why not now? But the thing is about open mics is that going back into it, I realized how much I didn't like this part of the comedy grind. Writing was cool. Performing was great. Even getting hyped before going on stage is great. But going to these small rooms and paying to be on stage and grind and repeat and recite and to tweak. It's like if you're not going to spaces that you feel safe and comfortable in, or you know the people, and you're like, oh, this is great. You're just going to random spaces just to be like, I'm open micing y'all. That to me, I can do without. Like that to me, I'm realizing it can only help you so much until it starts to hurt. And even though I did it yesterday, because I am a good friend and I gave the man a word, I would be there, and even though he wasn't, I'm not sure. I'm trying to be more strategic with open mics. I'm not going to say never, right? I'm trying to be more strategic with my open mics game as I decide to come back. If I'm coming back, what capacity I'm coming back, I don't know. As I figure that out, you guys have a fantastic week. This is What's Up, Flobo. Each and every week we sit and chat about life and everything between it. You know, deal and say out of your mouth for you. And if you're like, yo, you know, we always say that. How about you tell me to do something else? Write someone a thank you note with your bare hands. Don't type it. Just write someone a thank you note. If you won't call your mama, even though she misses you. I'll be back next week. And